Hello, this is the Progressive Cynic, and in this video I'll be talking about the hidden side to the House reauthorization of the Undetectable Firearms Act. Just this week, the House of Representatives, on a bipartisan basis, reauthorized the 1988 Undetectable Firearms Act. This law, it basically bans guns which are not metallic enough to be detected under metal detectors. In the past, this has largely included a few plastic guns and some ceramic guns, which were frankly designed to kill people in secure areas. It's a no-brainer banning these things because you don't need a ceramic gun in order to hunt deer or defend yourself. It's only for bringing a gun into a place where you know you're going to be checked for guns and you know you shouldn't have them. Well, it's a good thing. This is a very, very important law to reauthorize because, well, gun technology has changed since 1988, and now we don't just have to worry about ceramic guns, but we have to worry about 3D printed plastic guns. Just this year, guns have started to be built by 3D printers. This means that, well, you can make a gun out of plastic, a 3D printer, and an internet connection now. The technology is still in its infancy, but as with all types of technology, the advancement curve can be incredibly steep. Just look at laptops. They're redundant within 2 years, and a new model is out. Well, if the same thing happens with guns, we could be looking at assault rifles within a couple of years, printed out in someone's basement with no serial numbers, no record of sale, and the ability to pass through metal detectors. Well, obviously, we need to ban this. And the House, to their credit, has actually agreed on reauthorizing the bill. It will go to the Senate, and then it will be signed into law. I have no doubt it will go through because, ironically, this is one case where the interests of the gun manufacturers are in line with the interests of the American people. It has been impossible to pass gun control legislation in the past because the gun lobby and the NRA, in as much as there's a difference between the two, do not want anything which will cut into the profits of gun manufacturers who pay them. This means that anything which gun manufacturers disagree with, i.e. increased background checks, which might prevent some people from buying guns, is going to be fought tooth and nail in the legislature. That said, as previously mentioned, gun manufacturers don't want these guns on the street either. See, there's a demand for guns, which is met by the gun manufacturers. But the second you start letting people 3D print guns just in their basements to be sold on the open market, you create anarchy, and you also create a situation where the profit margins for gun manufacturers go up in smoke. People don't need to buy guns from gun manufacturers anymore because they can just go out to someone they know or buy their own 3D printer and start a manufacturing line of their own. Basically, in simple supply and demand terms, it swamps the market with supply. Thus, unless demand radically changes, the price just goes nosediving, which means no more money for them, which means no more money for the NRA and the gun lobbyists, which means all of them are unhappy. It also would mean that guns are flooding the streets, that cannot be tracked, and that are basically undetectable until they are used. It's a bad thing for everyone. Because of this, the NRA has remained entirely silent on the issue. It's a type of tacit support. They don't want to be seen as hypocrites, so they're not going to come out trumpeting this, but they're not going to fight it at all. This is why such a bill was able to pass through the, well, gun lunatic-dominated House. They got their marching orders behind the scenes. Yeah, we really don't want these guns to cut into the profit margins of the really rich gun manufacturers, so you can kind of pass this, and we're going to let it slide a little bit, and no one's going to grade you on it in your NRA rating. So, well, it passed because, again, nobody wants this on them. Nobody wants to be known as the guy who let the plastic gun revolution kick off. Well, it's a good thing. We need to ban plastic guns, and everyone can agree. So you think, well, win-win-win. Gun manufacturers don't get their profit margins cut into. Americans don't have to deal with a flood of guns. and no politician has to have any sort of political blowback. Well, yes, that is the case until the gun lobbyists and these politicians start arguing, oh, look, we already gave you a concession when asked to implement actual gun controls. The next time some significant or comprehensive gun control legislation comes up, we'd better not start hearing these gun manufacturer shills and their corporate controlled politicians start saying, oh, look, we passed this gun control bill a couple of months ago, and we already gave up a good deal, so you really can't expect us to give up more. That's the danger, and that's the hidden side to this vote. If the gun manufacturers are intelligent, they will say, oh, look, or if the gun lobbyists are intelligent, they will say, look, this is a concession on our part. We wanted to support more guns on the street, but, well, we're going to give you a fig leaf to placate all of you people who want to take guns off the street. So don't ask us for anything else. We already gave you what we're going to give you. If they're smart, that's what they're going to do. In fact, last May, when the first plastic firearm was fired off and it became an internet sensation, I wrote an article explaining how they would do this. You can find it on Salon. Just look up how 3D guns will doom the NRA. You'll find it very easily. I actually predicted exactly what is happening here. This isn't a brag, it's just to say it's not a difficult thing to foresee if you're paying attention. Now, I hope that this won't happen and that in the future we will be able to implement some wonderful, comprehensive, and strong federal gun regulatory regime which cuts down on the crazy amounts of mass shootings that we're experiencing. That said, I'm not optimistic because at the end of things, gun manufacturers don't like it. It doesn't happen. Thank you. This has been The Progressive Cynic. Please follow my blog, theprogressivecynic.com, and my YouTube channel under the same name. Also, please check out the Campaign to Unload on Facebook and any other pro-gun control group that you can find. They need your help, and they're just trying to look out for you and prevent crazy people from gunning random people down on the streets. Mayors Against Illegal Guns, the Brady Campaign. You can find good gun control groups. It's not hard. Just do a quick Google search and give them as much support as you can. They need it. Thank you.